What are we doing here?
We are going to make the watermelon. We're going to make watermelon juice, and what we're just going to do is slice it up so that it can be easily processed by our juicer, which is the...
Omega.
Which one?
I don't know.
8004.
Omega 8004.
Yes. Well done, dog. So all I'm going to do is split this bad boy. Wow, that's really anal that I'm like splitting it so perfectly evenly. So there we go, sliced. And then we have our special tool. Ooh. Ah, fabulous. Just gonna drive this guy in. So that was hard because I'm in the rind. But when you're not in the rind, it's easy, and you're just kind of going to do this like a lawnmower. Try to make straight tracks, not like that, not zigzaggy, goofy ones. Try to run side by side like that. And if you don't try to put this in like right next to the rind and be greedy like me, it's much easier to pull. But I'm just trying to like get the most out of this. See, I pulled a lot of that. But these guys can come up all by themselves if you want right now, just like slices, right? But if you want to be real fancy, you can cross cut them like this. Come on there, Sammy. Let go. Oopsie. Straight across, straight across. So that makes it super duper easy. And now, fancy. Check them out. And these will fit in our juicer super easily. Right?
How'd you learn about that tool?
I seen it on the worldwide internet. Somewhere in there. I don't remember. Probably came up in my feed or my Amazon feed or some sort of advertisement from China.
So that doesn't leave much residual in the watermelon?
It does. So you just do another layer, right? I'm taking a long time here. This is dumb. Okay. But anyway, my point is, right? You want to have another bowl over here to kind of make it easy so it's not a big sloppy mess. So we put them all in the bowl in the first place. Erase all this from your mind. That never happened. Right. See, the big problem is the way we usually cut it, it just leaves watermelon juice all over the counter, and now we're wiping stuff up that we should be drinking. Mm-hmm. So what we want to do is sort of avoid that. And then we just kind of throw the rest in here. Thank you. No problem. So it's fairly clean. Like we've done a pretty good job here. Open this guy back up. One side here, here. And then I'll just go for another swipe back.
And you feel like this is easier than cutting it on the sides like a
It
pineapple?
can be. I mean, if you want, I don't think so. Actually, I think it's probably easier for me to do it the way that I normally do it. And I'll do that in just a second because we've seen that multiple times. In fact, I think the title of this is going to be one way to not cut a watermelon and one way to actually do it right. I'm just kind of like, see. But we did get a good amount of yield out of this thing. Mm-hmm. And, when watermelon is $6 a pop at Costco during the summertime, yay, whoopee. But when it's like $9 during the off season, that ain't no fun. So you want to get as much as you can out of here. All right, so that's one way to do it. The other way to do it, which is probably more messy-ish, is just kind of grab your big knife. I'm going to put a little tilt in this so that we get down to the bottom. We go all the way around.
And see, I still don't cut it like that. I cut it like...
You flip it upside down and you cut the edges off.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I'm doing sort of in the same way. But then I just kind of go down like this and like this. Don't get your thumb in the way there because not smart. Don't need to lose a thumb. Hard to tell where the blood begins and the watermelon ends, so you don't want to do that. But then I'm kind of doing the exact same thing with this knife in sort of the eat kind of way. So, whatever. And then, but now how do I get these guys out of here if they're still stuck at the bottom? You're right. I'm glad you asked. So then I just sort of cut right in here, and this is why it becomes messy. And I just kind of work it that way. Oop, juicy juice coming out the sides. And now, you can see I kind of got whoopsie.
Oh, guess who's cleaning my floor today?
Counter on the floor. Yeehaw. It would have been really cool if that landed in the watermelon, right? Wouldn't it? It would have been great if I caught it all in the same bowl. So there we go. There's all your happy watermelon pieces.
Thank you.
Pieces that didn't really fall in the trash. So that's another way to cut it. And, you know, if you need to go back in there for another pass, have at it, dude. You know, don't be shy.
And I yield
Get all that
usually
stuff out.
about, what, 32 ounce or
32 ounces.
juice?
And what you usually do is you usually cut this guy like
Yes.
that. Now that we've cut all the way down the bottom, those guys just kind of fall off.
Well, thanks
So
for the
that's the way
demonstration.
you normally do it. And then, you know, if you want to cut these guys off and these guys off,
Yeah.
and this way and this way, now you got a big chunk of watermelon. Then you can just slice it on the cutting board, whatever, however way you want to do it. Those are two ways to cut a watermelon. There's a third way, kind of, you know, in your memory. And how about it? Cut your watermelon. Peace. Okay, ready? Good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make a juice. This is the Omega 8004. I'm a huge fan of this one, and I'm a huge fan of John Kohler, I think it is, over at Discount Juicers, because he reviews them while he is a bit verbose. He does review them in great detail, and there are a number of reasons why John swayed me to get this one for us, to get this one for our family, for our needs. But this, you saw how fast that went together, and the correct answer to the question, which juicer should I get, is always the juicer that you're going to use. This sucker breaks down, puts together, and cleans up super fast. And if you're like me, you know that if it takes you a long time to make your juice and clean up after it, you ain't going to juice. So that's why we got this one, partly. The other reason why, it's not really noisy, typically. Ours has been used a lot, so it's a little noisy. But it's super duper easy to use, and you're not going to lose a finger in this sucker. Look at that. Unless you have fingers that are like crazy long, that you ain't getting down there. All right, you got kids, their fingers aren't getting down there. So our kids get involved in the juicing. It's easy to use. This is a slow auger juicer. It's not a high speed, tear it all apart, oxidize all your fruit, and lose all the nutrients out of it kind of a juicer. It's the kind that's going to slowly squeeze a little bite of the fruit or the vegetable off, push it down this thing, and squeeze all the juice out of it, leaving you pretty dry pulp at the end. The way to know if your juicer's really doing its job is if you've got pulp that's pretty dry at the end. If there's a lot of juice left in the pulp, you left a lot of juice on the table. Not good. Why would you waste your time and money in your juice and your fruit, vegetables, getting that? So all I do with this bad boy is take all of my, now that I've cut my watermelon, see the other video on how to cut the watermelon. All I do is taking all the slices of watermelon, stuffing them in here, and letting it do its work. And can you see how fast I get a full hopper full of juice? Like, hello, that's crazy fast. Why? Because watermelon is mostly juice. And I'm just going to tip this a little bit because it ain't instant breakfast. It takes a little while to get the juice all the way out of there. We don't want to waste any of that lovely, happy gold.
Liquid gold. And sometimes we,
splash over.
well, and sometimes we'll just add some lime to that. And then we're growing mint and basil in the backyard, so we'll add that to our flavors.
So, as you can see, we're not even halfway through half of the water, and we've already got almost an entire jar. We actually wind up with probably how many? 5 or 6 per watermelon?
Yeah.
Most of the time, we get about 5 or 6 of these mason jars full of watermelons out of one. So you're going to get plenty of yield, lots of juice. this juice is really, really cleansing. It is going to act almost like soap in your intestines. So most people have pounds of gunk stuck to the insides of their intestines. And do you want to live your life with stuff stuck to your intestines? Absolutely not, because it's blocking all the nutrients getting into your body. So what you doing? Get her done. Oh, by the way, more juice. This one's probably only going to give us about 3 or 4,
But if you add lime juice or
add
lemon,
some lime juice or some lemon juice, or you add any other kind of juice,
Or
you add
crushed ice.
mango to this, or crushed ice, or whatever, man. You're
I saw some people adding ginger to it too.
ginger, watermelon, whatever you need to do. Typically like to add a little bit of citrus because we're here in Florida. Go citrus. But also because citrus is a little more acidic and it's going to preserve your juice a little bit longer. So if you don't drink, if you're not doing a watermelon fast like my wife is doing right now, where she's going to drink nothing but watermelon juice for the next couple of days, then you need the watermelon juice to last because you're probably only going to drink one of these. But think about it. If you replace like 1 meal or 2 meals a day with watermelon juice, you've dramatically reduced the amount of calories that you're taking in, seriously upped your hydration, because most of us walk around in life wicked dehydrated, and you're cleansing your body and getting a lot of toxic sludge out of it.
And fruit is astringent, like you said, it's like a sponge.
It's like soap cleaning out your guts.
A lavage.
When's the last time you cleaned out your guts? Look, you wash your car, you give your car an oil change. Why wouldn't you give your body an oil change? Change the filter. Yeah, but I put fresh oil in every day. Great. You put fresh oil in without changing the filter, your engine's going to seize. So, good luck on that one, fellas.
And it just feels good, like it feels lighter.
Peppers, more energy, more nutrition, more life.
Thanks for the demonstration.
You betcha.
I'll
So,
save the end to show how easy it is to disconnect.
Sounds good. See you in a minute. Second. See you in a cut.
So, we made what? Let's look at that yield.
We made about 4 out of that one watermelon.
Yes.
Sometimes we'll get bigger watermelons. Sometimes you get a little bit better yield. I think you normally get about 5
I do.
out of each one.
We had
so-
some spillage.
Yeah, a little bit of spillage. It's true. It's true. I got a little bit carried away. But again, the cool thing about this is a slow auger juicer, which means it's going to slowly turn this. It's not going to tear the cell wall of the fruits or the vegetables that you're doing. And one of the other reasons that John got me hooked on this one at Discount Juicers was because we use ours not just for fruit, but for leafy greens. And this particular one gives us a ton of yield for leafy greens. If you're buying kale, if you're buying any kind of parsley, any kind of microgreens that are chock full of nutrients, you know you're not going to eat a plate full of this much kale and spinach and all the other stuff, but you want the nutrition you're going to get out of that. You got to get a juicer that's going to squeeze as much of that stuff out of there. You don't want to be throwing your money down the drain. So this was the reason why we went with this particular model. There's the 8005, the 8006, but this was the kind of thing that we were just like, look, the 8004, 5, 6 is a great one to get because it's not your average, $80 juicer that you pick up at Target or, God forbid, Target or at off Amazon or whatever. It's going to be an investment, but it's an investment in your health. So if
And
you're
so-
going to put some money into it.
Hold on a sec,
Yeah.
and I won't show you Cassidy, but I will show you drink. My girlfriend is here. What do you think about the watermelon juice?
It's the best thing ever. It's so nutritiously like refreshing, and it's so light and airy. You just feel like you're just drinking liquid gold.
See? Okay. All right.
Super stuff. So
So-
again, one of the other reasons why you're going to want to get this particular juicer for us was a good one is because, again, the juicer that's right for you is typically the juicer that you're going to clean. If you're not going to clean it, if you know it's going to be a big pain in the neck, you get all these parts, and it's a pain in the neck to clean, you're just not going to juice. And it's going to sit there and collect dust. You're not going to spend $250 on a dust collector. You want something that you're going to use on a regular basis. This is a power tool like any power tool I got in my garage or my wood shop. This is the kind of thing that I want to know. I can clean and get back to right away. So here's the breakdown of the cleanup. You set a timer if you want, but I'm going to just show you. It comes with this little scrubby deal, and I'm just going to clean this guy off real quick. Put these little parts over here. Clean this one off. This is all dishwasher safe, so throw it in the dishwasher. Have at it. Happy days. Woohoo. Rinse out the little parts and stuff. There we go. What have we taken? About 30 seconds so far? Great. Slide the collar off. Take your little hopper off of here. Scrub the top. Ours is a little bit discolored because we've done a lot of things like turmeric and ginger and carrots that will tend to stain this white stuff. But this is like ABS plastic as far as I remember. So it's super duper easy to clean. Get it clean. This one turns counterclockwise, so just remember, clockwise. So you just kind of give it a little bit of a rinse. And then again, if you want to leave it on your counter and let it dry, great. This is the meat and potatoes where all the action happens. This guy right here is the strainer. This is the auger. This is like basically a screw. But again, like we said, it just kind of bites off a chunk of your produce and it squishes it all the way down. This guy right in here squeezes the juice right out here and all the pulp comes out the other end. This guy you do want to clean off. But are we taking like half an hour to clean it? No, we're taking a couple of minutes, and then this is going to sit out on a towel on the counter.
And I think we've had this particular juicer for like 10 years.
At least
At least.
8, possibly
Well-
10. You may be right. You may be like 10 years. Yep.
I think we went for a juicer. Was it the Vitamix in Gainesville or the juicer? I don't know.
The Vitamix we got first while we were in.
And then, yeah.
So.
Well, it's at least 9 years because I've been vegan for 9.
Yep.
And I know we've made an investment in the juicer and the smoothies, making juices and smoothies simultaneously.
Yep. So, and that's it. That's all the cleaning that we've really done. That and then this big plastic chunky monster piece here, the housing that holds all the parts together. This guy's been cleaned up. Little on the inside, little on the edge. But
And
those
even
are
when we're
basic-
not doing like detoxes of any kind or whatever, this juicing is part of our usual
Regular deal.
regimen because it's just hydrating for us and it's quick to get like nutritious kind of, I guess, satisfaction before leaving the house. Like I'll drink a watermelon juice sometimes if I have to run the kids somewhere and I'll feel satisfied or satiated or whatever for a time. Because most of us are not hungry, we're
dehydrated.
thirsty.
Yep.
And it manifests as hunger.
So that's it. That's like the whole shebang. That's how long it takes to really clean this thing. Let it sit and dry. Throw a couple of parts in your dishwasher. Throw them all in your dishwasher if you want. If I remember right, they're all dishwasher safe. I wouldn't dishwash this one very often because I don't like too much heat on it, but that's totally your choice. That's how fast it cleans up. That's how fast you can be in, out, done in terms of making juice. We've spent maybe 15 minutes tops on getting this batch of juice done. And I'm also ready to go make some green juices and some other stuff with, Joe Cross's mean green juice. I make that pretty regularly now.
And we can
Just
also,
good.
if you don't feel like putting all the work into juicing, you can throw some ice in the Vitamix with the chunks that you cut up and
Chunks of
just make
watermelon,
us
make a smoothie,
slushy.
happy fun out of it.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing that this summer.
Yep. So that's a run through the Omega 8004 juicer. Grab that guy at Discount Juicers. They do a really great job. They stand behind their stuff. I've gotten personal correspondence direct from John before. He's super responsive. Him and his staff are just fantastic. So get it done. Take care of your body. It's the only one you get. Peace.
Love you, babe.